Good morning. Thank you for joining me today. And thank you for celebrating with me last week on my birthday and my wedding anniversary. Thank you so much. Now, this morning I want to share a little thing with you I called the roles and the needs of the man and the wife in marriage. The roles and the needs. Now, why am I talking about the roles and the needs together? This is because, you see, the roles of the man are the needs of the wife, and the roles of the wife are the needs of the man. Now, when roles, what I call responsibilities, are not met in marriage, then the marriage becomes stressful. There are several responsibilities or roles that the man is supposed to shoulder in marriage, and so many responsibilities that the wife is supposed to shoulder in marriage. When they fail to shoulder these responsibilities, then marriage becomes stressful and marriage begins to fail. Now, remember, the roles of the man are the needs of the wife, and the roles of the wife are the needs of the man. We are meant to meet those roles, because when we meet them, then we supply the ingredients that the partner needs to thrive in marriage. The first role, for instance, of the man in marriage, which is a powerful need in the wife, is the role of leadership. The man is the leader in the marriage, not by election, but by a divine appointment. He says, wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands, because the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church. Now, headship there is leadership. The man is supposed to be the leader in the marriage. It doesn't mean that the man is better than the wife. It doesn't mean that the man is stronger than the wife. It doesn't mean that the man is wiser than the wife. No. It simply means that the man is the leader of the marriage. When the man leads the wife properly according to the will and the purpose of God, marriage is enjoyed. The leadership that the man is supposed to lead the wife is the model leadership of Jesus. Jesus is the leader of the church. So you lead your wife the way Jesus leads the church. How does Jesus lead the church, you might ask? Through humility, through service, and through sacrifice. Jesus is the model leader that we need to emulate as men, as husbands. Jesus is the shepherd. He says, I am the good shepherd. I lay my life down for the sheep. That's what the good shepherd does. And as a husband, you are supposed to be a shepherd, a good shepherd at that, the good shepherd of your wife, and by extension, your family. And what are you supposed to be doing? Laying down your life for your wife and for your family. And that's a powerful need in every woman. Every woman in the marriage needs leadership. That's why when something happens in the marriage, in the home, the woman will always ask you, honey, what do we do? Sweetheart, what do we do? That's a leadership question. Because every wife needs a leader in the home. Amazing, amazing. The second role of the man in marriage is the role of love. It is the job of the man to love the wife. He says, husbands, love your wives. And how are you supposed to do that? As Christ loved the church. The same way Christ loved the church, God expects every husband to love the wife. And did you notice that love is a very powerful need in every woman's life? I told you that the role of the man are the needs of the wife, and vice versa. So the man loves the wife. The man is supposed to love the wife. The same way Christ loved the church. How did Christ love the church? By showing commitment, by showing responsibility, and by making sacrifices for the church. And that is what love is all about. Love manifests in responsibility. Love manifests in commitment. And love shows genuine sacrifice. Laying things down for the betterment of your wife. Seeing to enhancing your wife, showing care to your wife, showing empathy to your wife, showing kindness to your wife, and every other thing that goes with it. You show love to your wife. That is your job. And that is a very powerful need in every wife. The need to be loved. This is amazing. Now, let me touch the third one. I'm just going to take 3 roles of the man, and then I'll talk about the 3 roles of the wife. Because the role of the wife are also the needs of the man. The third responsibility of the man I want to mention is the responsibility of provision. Provision and protection. Let me touch the 2. Provision and protection. It is the job of the man to provide for and protect the wife. Woo! The same way the shepherd protects the sheep. Did you remember what the Bible talks about the shepherd? He used David to describe who the good shepherd is. He says, I was with my father's sheep in the wilderness, and the lion came to take the little kid. I came upon that lion and smote it, held it by the beard and smote it. And the bear also came. I did the same thing to the bear. He said, your servant who was able to deal with the lions and the bears is able to deal with this uncircumcised Philistine. That was David's account. In other words, David was making sacrifices in the wilderness, protecting the sheep and providing for the sheep. And Jesus says, I am that good shepherd, the one that lays his life down in protection, in salvation for the sheep. That is the way to provide for your wife and protect your wife. The same way Jesus did. That's the same thing we are supposed to do to our family, to our wives. That is the job of the man. And did you notice that protection and provision, they are strong needs of the wife in marriage? Woo! No woman can survive in marriage without adequate provision. No woman will definitely survive in marriage without adequate protection. And that is the job of the man. I've shown you 3 for the man. Let me quickly show you 3 for the wife. The first role of the wife is the role of submission. Submission. Submission is the most powerful state of the wife in marriage. Any woman that understands the art of submission rules in the marriage positively. Submission is like that submarine, It goes inside, it hides, it goes into obscurity, and then it becomes the most dangerous weapon of war. Very powerful. The submarine will never come up to compete with the ship, compete with the fighter jets, and compete with the helicopters. It will be destroyed. That's what women do when they begin to challenge their husbands, insult their husbands, malign their husbands, upset their husbands. They get wounded, they get hurt. But a woman should learn like that submarine that goes inside the water. And when it goes inside the water, it becomes the most dangerous. A woman that understands submission goes in on the husband. When the husband is talking and instructing, they are quiet, they are calm. And in that state, they can think. In that state, they can plan. In that state, they can strategize. In that state, they can pray. That's the state of submission. And the woman that understands and deploys this becomes the most powerful woman in marriage. Because that kind of woman is the woman that the husband can willingly and proudly say, even half of my kingdom I'm willing to give you. What made that king want to give Esther half of his kingdom? That's a woman that understands the art of submission. Now, submission is the main role, responsibility of the wife. But did you know that submission is a very powerful need in a man's life? No man in marriage can survive a woman that is not submissive. When you become unsubmissive to your husband, you become like another man in marriage. And the man will begin to resist you. The same thing the male lion does to other male lions. These things are in the gene. When you become another man in your marriage, your husband will be resisting you. But when you take that state of submission, that amazing sub-state, and treat your husband with that gentility and value and respect, the man will treat you like a queen, and the man will be willing to commit to your hand even half of his kingdom. These things are amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Believe me, marriage is enjoyable. To have a good marriage is as simple as ABC, but it just takes you to understand certain principles and commit yourself by walking in them. And those principles are principles in God's word, the principles that God has given to run marriage. Because remember, God is the originator, the creator of the marriage covenant, and He has given the instructions, the manual to run marriage. And that manual is found in the Bible, His word. So the first responsibility of the woman is submission. But you see, the second responsibility of the woman is the responsibility of helper. The responsibility of helper. The woman is the helper of the man. The woman is the man's assistant. So even in the leadership that the man is supposed to lead in the marriage, the woman is supposed to assist him. So as a matter of fact, the woman is a leader also in marriage, but your leadership is to assist the man. In other words, when the man is not capable, when the man is not there, you deputize for him. You do the same thing the man is supposed to do in the home, in the marriage, even when the man is not visible. Because you are his assistant. You are his major assistant. Amazing. And every man needs assistant. Every man needs support. Every man needs supportive wife. So you are that woman that is meant to support your husband, that is meant to assist your husband, that is meant to hold your husband's hand to make sure that his hand is up. And you do it both physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Your job is to pray for your husband, to support him. Your job is to stand beside him, support him financially if you can. Yeah, there are women that have the resources to support their husband physically, financially. Do that. Don't say, my money is my money. His money is our money. I see a lot of women say that. You see, always learn to support your husband. There might be times he's down. There might be times his shoulder is sad. And you have the capacity to help that man as a wife. Help him. Help him come up. The moment he comes back up, the whole family becomes exciting again. But when you leave your husband down, even when you can help him rise, you are the one that is now destroying your marriage with your hands. Learn to support your husband. Learn to stand by him. Learn to assist him. Assist him in the home. Assist him in running the home. Assist him with the children. Assist him with taking care of the food. Assist him with every other thing. And finally, you have to learn to assist him on the other room, because the man needs that assistance too. Woo! Awesome. Now, you see, there's another powerful responsibility of the woman that is very key in marriage. And when women don't understand this, it brings a whole lot of stress. Another powerful responsibility of the woman in marriage is to respect and reverence the husband. Yeah. Did you notice that respect is one of the greatest needs in a man's life? Actually, it's not the show of the other room. It's not food. It's not some of those things you think. One of the greatest need of the man in marriage is the need of a woman that respects him. And the Bible talks clearly about this. If you read Ephesians chapter 5 verse 33, if you read it in Amplified Classic, it says, therefore let every man see that they love their wife like their own self, and let every woman see that they reverence and respect their husbands. And then the Amplified Classic puts in a big bracket, it says that you notice him, that you love him, that you praise him, that you defer to him. He said a whole lot of things about 10 powerful ways you respect your husband was listed there. You see, it's your job to respect your husband. And how do you do that? You respect your husband in the way you speak to him. You show respect to your husband in the way you talk to him, the tone of voice you use to reply him. You show respect for your husband in the way you talk about him. What do you tell your friends? What do you tell your siblings? What do you tell your family people about your husband? You show respect to him the way you talk about him. You show respect to him the way you obey his instructions. He tells you, honey, please don't wear this, don't do this, don't go this. And you respect him. You tell him, honey, okay. Of course, you can challenge him. You can say, but honey, why don't you want me to do this? And he will explain to you. And when he's done explaining to you, you accept. That's respect. The man sees respect in the way you obey instructions he has given in the house. Every man thrives in the respect of the wife. You can never enjoy the best of the man you fail to respect. You can never enjoy the best of the man you disrespect. So respect is key in every man's life. Amazing. I hope these little things I've shared will help you, inspire you today to know your responsibility. There are so many responsibilities of the man. I just shared 3. And there are so many responsibilities of the wife. I just showed you 3. There are still much more. You see, that's why I do a lot of trainings. I do a lot of teachings on YouTube, on Facebook, and then on Zoom. And I'll be posting some of those links this year on Facebook, so you can get the links and join those amazing life transforming trainings that are coming up this year. There's one that is coming up by exactly the end of this year, and you have to be part of it live. And then eventually I'm going to be posting some of them on YouTube for all the people to enjoy. I pray that you have a lovely marriage. Believe me, having a thriving marriage is as easy as ABC. It all takes you to know the instructions that God has given to run marriage and live by them. That's all. Know the instructions that God has given and live by them. And you notice that thriving in marriage is as easy as ABC. Have a lovely day. May God keep blessing you and blessing your marriage. May you continue to thrive in your marriage, in every aspect of your life, your finances, your spiritual life, and your marital life. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.